have fetched a post, which is great, but now I want more. For example, who wrote this post or what comments were left on it. Now, instead of sending multiple requests like we do in REST API, GraphQL lets you fetch all that nested info in a single query. In this chapter, I'll show you how to fetch related data using GraphQL, and trust me, it is easier than what you think. Now, welcome to this chapter of this course. In this chapter, you will learn how to query related data using GraphQL, and also how relationships like post to author or post to comments work, and also how resolvers can return nested data cleanly. Now, let's get into it. First thing, let's say that you want a query post like this, which I'll paste it right here. So we're querying basically a post by ID. So I want a single post and I want the title and the content. Now, if you want also the author name and all the comments, what you will do, you can nest the query like this. So I'll just paste a new query. And we can make, for example, a query like this. Right, so we're getting a post by ID, we're getting the title, the content, but also I'm getting the author who write that post, I want the name, and also the list of the comments within that post, and I'm displaying the message of them. Now you must be thinking, okay, how will we do that? So let's go first to our schema and update it. Now, if I go to my schema, at the moment I do have here author, which is user type, okay, and it is a mandatory, so I should have a user. And then I have comments, and this comment is an array of the comment type, okay, and these ones are mandatory as well. Now in our resolver, we can just update it to fetch basically the author and comments for our post. So let's go back to our resolver, which is up here. And at the moment we have the query, right? And if you can see at the moment, we can get a post, but the post will only get us the details that we have in our DB, which is the title, the content, and only have the author ID. So we need a way we can get an author for that post, and also how we can get a list of the comments for that post ID. Okay, now we can go back here, and we know that we want to add extra things or get extra things for the post query. So that will be post here. So create a new query, and that will be an object. Now inside here, I'll say I want an author, okay, which is same name here, author, and that will be again a function. And you remember before I told you that these resolvers, the first argument, it is the parent field you have access to. And here we didn't need it, so we just put underscore. But now we will use this to access your actual parent. So we can access, for example, the ID of the parent, okay? In this example, the author parent is the post itself right here, okay? Now, this resolver, like we said, there are functions, which we need one argument at the moment, but usually takes 3 arguments, but only need the first one, which is the parent. And what I will do, I'll say filter through my users, because I want the author of my post, and I'll say find, okay? And this find will go through each user, and what will compare? We'll get the user ID. So if you remember again our schema, the user have ID. So user.id, if it is equal to my parent dot author ID. If you remember again, that is the author ID right there. So author, let me actually copy it so I don't do any spelling mistakes. So author ID. So basically return me any users or user that its ID is matching my post dot author ID. Okay. Now same thing I will do for the comments as well. So comments within my post, and that will be also a function because it's a resolver. And at the moment, I only need the first argument, which is the parent. Now I want to go through all my comments, okay, and filter, because he will have many, right? So filter, and we'll filter the comment, okay? And we'll say if the comment dot, and if you remember the schema, the comments have a post ID, okay? So if the comment.post ID is equal to my parent dot ID, and I remember again the parent it is the post, okay, and the post have an ID, okay. So give me back basically the list of the comments that the post ID field is equal to my parent.id. Now GraphQL knows how to resolve the author and comment fields whenever a post is featured. Okay. Now let's go to Apollo, and what I will do, I'll run my server npm start and let this one run. Hopefully no errors. Runs great. Let's open up our browser. And what I'll do, I'll just hard reload to make sure I'm getting the latest thing. And let's run basically a query here. Okay. So I remove the comments. I don't want that not to test it. But I want to get, for example, my post with a post ID. And I remove this as I don't need it. I remove this, I don't need it. So testing in the last chapter. So I want basically the post, I want the title, I want the content, and I want the author, okay, who write this post. And this author, I just want their name, name, and let's say email as well. Okay. Now we are getting the post with ID 2. Let's run this. And let's see, we got the title resolver, and also see we got the author too. And the name is John Doe, and this is their email. Now, if you go back to our schema, and let's make an open up, we are testing the post ID 2. So if we go to our DB, you can see that we got the user here, okay? And that is the user with John Doe, and its ID is 2. And I think the post ID number 2, see we are using the author with ID number 2. Great. Now let's test the comments, if we can get the comments as well. Let's go back to and let's try to get the comments as well. And I want just to get the message of my comments. Now let's run this, and you can see here we have only one comment, if you remember, in our DB for this post, and it's coming now as expected. Now with nested queries, you can avoid multiple HTTP requests, and also you can keep the front-end logic super clean and easy, and also it helps to build detailed pages with full context, like relationship between the posts and authors and the comments as well. Now, let's try another query. So instead of selecting only a single post, let's get all the posts, okay? And let's see if that's what will work. So let me remove all this, and let me remove all this. And let's say I want to get, for example, posts. And in the post, I want to get, for example, the title. And also I want to get the author, and I want the author name. Okay. And I will remove this. We don't need it anymore. And let's run this and see what will happen. And you can see, even now, we said before that author is a relationship to a post. But because it is a relation to a post, it will work by default for the posts as well. And you can see here, I'm getting the list of the posts. I have 2. And for each post, I'm able to get the author's name as well. You can see you can query basically related data using nested queries very easily. The GraphQL resolvers nested fields using the parent data, and this is how you build a very rich connected UIs with GraphQL. Now, if you enjoyed this and learned something new, please give this video a like and subscribe. And in the coming chapter, we'll explore the GraphQL mutations and how to create, update, and delete data using GraphQL. So, see you there.